Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Today the Army Chief delivered an important speech. In this speech he particularly spoke about the recently conducted Operation Sindoor by India and the immediate and firm response given through Bunyano Mahsus. He shared his thoughts on this, and I will share those with you as well. Additionally, today the Election Commission has issued some clarifications. Why is it necessary to issue these clarifications repeatedly? What exactly have they clarified? This time I will share that with you, as it seems like there is now an apparent alliance with the Speaker of the PMLA or Pakistan Muslim League Assembly to make every possible effort to denotify the 26 PTI members who were previously suspended. They now aim to have their decisions revoked. There was also another press conference today related to this matter, and I will share the details of that too. Along with that, I will also talk about the developments regarding Imran Khan Sahib's meeting and the progress of his protest. Moreover, there was a comment made by a journalist who is considered close to the establishment about Imran Khan Sahib. I will address that as well. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's first talk about the Army Chief. Field Marshal Sahib visited the Defence University today. There, he gave a speech to the senior officers and soldiers. In his speech, he emphasised the importance of cooperation between Pakistan's military and civilian institutions. He stressed that this cooperation must be promoted. Furthermore, he spoke about the recent tensions between Pakistan and India and mentioned that wars are not won through mere rhetoric or showing off fancy military equipment, hoping that somehow one will win the war. He said that wars are won through determination, strength and professionalism. It requires military skills and capabilities. He also specifically addressed India's attempt to create a narrative that Pakistan was able to retaliate effectively because China and other countries supported Pakistan. He pointed out that this is due to India's incompetence and flawed strategies, and they should not drag other countries into the situation. He said involving other countries in the matter was a politically weak attempt. Moreover, he reminded the officers to remember that their determination and commitment to Pakistan should never be wavering and must be demonstrated through their actions. He warned India that any attempt to target Pakistan's population, military bases, economic centres or ports would be met with an even more severe response than what they had expected. He also gave a warning that if India is planning another attack due to political pressures, they should remember that the response will be more than just what they anticipate. There is speculation that India is planning another attack to recover from the political fallout caused by previous events, but they have been warned against any such actions. This was the essence of Field Marshal Sahib's speech, primarily focused on the Pakistan-India conflict, and he once again issued a stern warning to India. Meanwhile, I also came across reports that India is awarding honours to their military officers, especially pilots whose Rafale jets were downed in the conflict, and they are acknowledging the military losses. This in itself is recognition that Pakistan was able to down their jets, and they are even acknowledging the significant number of military personnel lost. Now, moving on to the next piece of news. Today it has been confirmed that Major General Arshad Sahib has been appointed as a member of the Pakistan Sports Board. This raises the issue of military officers being appointed to civilian positions. Earlier we used to see retired officers taking such roles, but now active duty officers are also being appointed to such posts. Critics argue that this undermines the authority of civilian officials as the military's control continues to grow, diminishing the role of civilians in key areas. There has been significant discussion on this, with people questioning the public interest in appointing military officers to non-military positions, even when they have no relevant experience in those fields. And now we come to the matter of PTI members who have been suspended, and now the Election Commission is preparing to denotify them. You are aware that the Speaker of the Assembly recently submitted a reference to the Election Commission regarding this matter. This reference was filed with the Chief Election Commissioner, and photographs of the two smiling together were shared. This led to much criticism. In response to the criticism, the Election Commission issued a statement today clarifying that these are routine meetings. The Election Commission emphasised that they have been carrying out their responsibilities according to the Constitution and the law. They further claimed that they are not being blackmailed or pressured into making decisions. This statement, however, was met with skepticism as people believe that the Election Commission is working closely with the establishment and the ruling party. and they have been manipulating election seats and making decisions according to their interests. Today, the speaker also held a press conference, and it seems his anger is still simmering over the confrontation and slogan chanting involving Mariam Nawaz. He remains unyielding and his frustration is evident. After holding 2 or 3 press conferences, suspending him, fining him and sending references, they still weren't at peace. Today, once again, they appeared, and after standing up, they started a press conference filled with anger, saying that according to the constitution and law, they would get him expelled and make sure his career is finished. Now today, they seem to remember the constitution and law. By the way, it's also a shameful thing that more than half of the assembly members are sitting on 47 forms. So, first of all, the constitution and law are dead here. Now, they are making such statements today. These videos of them have gone viral since morning when they were in the opposition, and the kind of actions they used to take. The slogans they raised, the kind of vandalism and chaos they created, everything is on record. There is even a photo and video of the speaker himself climbing the dais and causing a ruckus, making strange noises and disturbances. So these were the actions of these people, and now they are calling the opposition's slogans chaos and mischief. So this style of theirs is being criticized by everyone. In fact, just yesterday, ARY's senior reporter Naeem Ashraf reported that even people within PMLN are criticizing this act, questioning whether they should have tried to denotify them. At most, they could have suspended them, as that has been the tradition. But to denotify them, this is something that could set a precedent for the future. And these things will also apply to us later. Today, Malik Sahib is saying that the decisions of Saqib Nisar and Asif Saeed Kosa are available in the Supreme Court, and they told the Speaker to expel them. So the Speaker has been granted these powers by them. But today, they remember these decisions, which at the time they used to criticize, calling the judges biased. Now, they are treating these very judges as their spiritual judges and following their decisions. First, this contradiction is quite obvious. Secondly, what is superior, the Constitution or a decision made by the Supreme Court in a different case, in a different context, which you are using for your own purposes now? This whole situation shows a clear intent, that the goal is to weaken their members by denotifying them. Even if they don't go to this extent, the purpose remains to send a strong message for the future that no one like Mariam Nawaz should attempt such actions again. They want her to fear that even the decision could go as far as denotifying her. Whatever the reason, the way they are handling things is exposing their own tyranny. It is not just the media and various journalists criticizing them, but even the few remaining democratic voices within their own ranks are speaking out against it. Yesterday, I saw Khwaja Saad Rafiq's tweet. He also expressed his reservations and said that this should not have gone this far. Okay, you can suspend them, but this has been a long-standing tradition. This is the whole story of this matter, but the real issue is that they must facilitate their own members at all costs. Meanwhile, the opposition members are being crushed everywhere. Now, coming to their own members, here's another scandal. The members of the reserved seats, whose assembly membership was suspended, were reinstated after a full court bench decision last year. You may recall that when their membership was suspended, a 13-member bench had ruled against their notification. Now, after the constitutional bench's ruling, they've reinstated them. And what's interesting is that they have also paid back their salaries from the date of suspension. They've not only restored their membership from that date, but also given them the salary increases from the last 7 or 8 months, even though these members weren't present in the assembly during this period and weren't doing any lawmaking. Can you imagine the corruption in this country where poor people are driven to suicide because they can't pay their electricity bills? They sell their household goods like motorcycles, jewelry, or even their wives' and daughters' possessions to pay the bills. And here, assembly members who haven't been in the assembly for over a year are receiving full salaries and perks, even including raises they weren't even entitled to. It shows how heartless these people are. They are so shameless that they want to receive all their past dues even though they weren't serving their duties. This is not only wrong but highly embarrassing. And as the rest of the world knows, they've also been sitting on others' seats. It is a matter of utmost disgrace that these members who were suspended are now being paid for that period, and they're still demanding more. It is beyond understanding how to condemn these people, but one can only wonder what words can be used to express the contempt these people deserve. They have no shame, and they will never feel any. However, after reading this news, I can't help but think of the various faces of the people suffering right now. These are the people who are struggling with extreme inflation, who can't even afford the basic necessities. And here, those in power are throwing away wealth like it's nothing. They are distributing it unlawfully and unconstitutionally, with no regard for the situation outside their circles. This is their condition. I'm honestly stunned by the news today, and it is like pouring salt on an already open wound. You're suffering from inflation, and then you get such news that members of the Assembly are increasing their salaries and benefits. It's truly shocking. In conclusion, I want to inform you that tomorrow is the day for a meeting with Imran Khan, and a list of names has been sent to Adiala jail for this purpose. Salman Akram Raja, Salman Sabdar, Ghair Ali Khan, Niazullah Niazi, Naeem Haider Panjota, and Zahir Abbas are on this list. However, everyone knows it is difficult to meet anyone from this list. Perhaps there may be a brief meeting with Zahir Abbas, as was the case last time, but otherwise there seems to be no chance of meeting with any other leaders. It remains to be seen whether the two sisters will meet this time. We will have to keep an eye on this. This list is another indication that the top leadership of PTI wants to meet Imran Khan to discuss the strategy and their future course of action. However, the situation now seems to suggest that they will not be allowed to meet. The real question is, will PTI announce any strategy without a direct meeting or through indirect messages from their family members? After 10th Muharram, the pressure on them will only increase because it was clear that they would have a strategy by now. Let's see what happens in the next few days, either with a meeting with Imran Khan or indirectly through messages. The situation should become clearer soon. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.